The last few weeks have seen terrible weather for observing. Well, they have at my house, so I presume everyone else has had similar problems. As it's the AGM tonight and we have a lot of business to get through, tonight's What's Up is a light version. We'll have a quick run through of the planets and other solar system objects first. Mercury is very poorly placed, being only at an altitude of approximately 2.5 degrees, pretty much due east when the sun rises, which is currently at 5:30 AM. It's practically unobservable, so it's a thumbs down. Venus is still dominating the southwestern sky after sunset. Its angular separation from the sun is currently about 39 degrees and at sunset is approximately 34 degrees above the horizon. As May begins, it is at its brightest, approximately magnitude -4.7, as yesterday it achieved its greatest illuminated extent. That is, the largest apparent illuminated area, with a disk about 38 arcseconds across, which is 27% illuminated. However, as Venus moves towards the Earth, with its apparent angular size increasing to 57 arcseconds by a month's end, it rapidly closes towards the Sun, so we'll only have an elevation of 6 or 7 degrees at sunset by the end of the month. In the last week of May, the thin crescent should easily be visible in binoculars. Now, a word of warning here: whatever you do, don't get pointing your binoculars near the Sun until after it's set. If you do get the sun in your eyes through binoculars or a telescope, you're in for trouble that quite possibly will affect you for the rest of your life. Now, talk of Venus and the Sun brings me to next month's What's Up, as then we'll be discussing this year's most significant astronomical event, which is the transit of Venus. Now, it's a thumbs up for this month, but I guess next month, as it is the transit of Venus, as I just said, we'll have to come up with a new symbol to signify what, for most of us, will be a once-in-a-lifetime event. Now, Mars is still quite nicely placed, being due south with an altitude of 48 degrees at 9 PM. It's not overly large, being only 10 arcseconds across, so a telescope will be needed to have any hope of seeing any detail. Now, as can be seen here, Mars is still really easy to find, being located just under the readily recognisable constellation of Leo. Like last month, it's still a thumbs up. Now, Jupiter passes behind the Sun mid-month, so it is currently unobservable and consequently is a thumbs down. Now, Saturn reached opposition on April the 15th and is now seen about 25 degrees above the eastern horizon after sunset, and it will be due south around midnight BST. It will then have an elevation of some 33 degrees and lie about 5 degrees up and to the left of the first magnitude star Spica, as can be seen on this image. It's currently moving retrograde through the constellation of Virgo. Its magnitude will drop from 0.03 to 0.05 as May progresses, while its angular size will also fall from 19 to 18.4 arcseconds. The rings have opened out nicely now. They're about 13 degrees to the line of sight, so will appear appreciably wider than we saw during its last apparition. Now, as can be seen here, during the late evening of the 20th, with no moon in the sky as it will have set by late evening, there's a nice grouping of the satellites of Saturn to be seen. A reasonable sized telescope is preferable, but even a small telescope will show the 9th magnitude Titan. Saturn's certainly a thumbs up this month. Weather permitting, the 20th is one night in particular when the planetary imagers among us should be getting out there and having a go to see if they can capture this nice grouping of satellites. Uranus and Neptune aren't currently observable, so it's a double thumbs down. Now, here's the dates for the phases of the moon this month. New moon's the 21st, first quarter's the 29th, the full moon is on the 6th, and last quarter is on the 12th. Now, the full moon on the 6th is quite a special one, as at 1 AM on the 6th of May, the full moon transits, at which time its distance from the centre of the Earth will be 356,954 kilometres. Now, this is the closest full moon to the Earth since January 1912. It will thus appear larger in the sky than at any time since then. Hopefully, we'll be able to see the moon as it rises at approximately 8:15 British Summer Time on the evening of the 5th, when the moon illusion will make it actually appear bigger than it really is. Bad news for all the deep sky observers. The night of the 14th is the last time we will have a truly dark sky for the next few months. From the 15th onwards, the sun will not get more than 18 degrees below the horizon, so we'll never get past astronomical twilight. Here's the sky as it will appear when looking south at 11 PM on the 15th. We've got Leo over here, heading off towards the west. Here we have Virgo, and around this area we have the Virgo galaxy cluster, so it still is galaxy season. Over here we have Hercules, and I can't mention Hercules without talking about the famous globular cluster M13, which is the finest globular cluster in the sky. Now, going back to the chart, which I've moved around slightly, up here we have Canis Venatici, and that area of sky is famous for the really nice galaxy Messier 51. As we all know, this is two interacting galaxies, and it really does look quite nice through a telescope. Back to the chart, up here at the zenith we have Ursa Major, also known as the Plough, and we can't mention Ursa Major without mentioning such gems as M101, which is again a very nice spiral galaxy, and the planetary nebula M97, which is known as the Owl Nebula. Now, that's it for this month's What's Up. As I said, this is a light version this month due to it being the AGM, but do make sure to get out observing. The dark nights are practically at an end, so make the most of them while you've still got them.